Descriptive statistic is a branch of mathematics that deals with gathering, analyzing, interrupting, and presenting large amounts of numerical data. It is used to summarize large data in a meaningful way. Python is an excellent language for data analysis, and Panda is a Python batch processing and data analysis library. It is a quick and simple open source library that allows for a variety of data manipulation tasks, which includes blending, reconfiguring, statistical analysis, and a variety of other tasks. To this course, we will look at how to compute summary statistic with the Pandas library. So if you feel the need to dig deeper into Pandas summary statistics, sit tight as we bring to you all the information that you need right on your screens. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, I want to request you to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any new update or video releases from Great Learning. If you enjoy this video, show us some love and like this video. Knowledge increases by sharing, so make sure you share this video with your friends and colleagues. Make sure to comment on the video for any query or suggestions, and I will respond to your comments.
Hello learners, welcome to the course of Pandas Summary Statistics. My name is Gaurav and once again I welcome you to all to Great Learning. Now, moving to the agenda, first we will be knowing about what is Pandas. So as we know that Pandas is a Python library that is mainly used for data analysis. Moving next, we are having Descriptive Statistics. So basically, Descriptive Statistics deals with the gathering, interpreting, analyzing and presenting the large amount of numerical data. Next, we are having generating a summary statistics for a data frame. So if you want to generate a summary statistics, we're going to use Pandas.describe method. So basically, it will display the statistical information such as mean, the minimum value, maximum value, along with the standard deviation. So after generating a summary statistics for a data frame, we're going to see the practical implementation of it. So now let's start with Pandas. So coming to the Pandas, Pandas is the most used data manipulation library. Let's take an example to understand in a better way. Let's suppose that if you are having any data set and if you want to visualize that particular data set, or if you want to get the key insights from that particular data set, then you can use Pandas. Also, you can manipulate the data also, right? Next, we are having that Pandas is an open source. So it's freely available. You have to just import the module, import pandas as PD, and you can use the Pandas library. Moving next, Pandas is built on top of NumPy because it gives high performance. Also, you can analyze faster here, and it is also used for data cleaning. As I already told you that Pandas is mainly used for data analysis, right? So it is also a data analysis tool. Moving to next point. So whatever the data you are having, it will be stored into a data frame. So let's suppose that if you want to import any data set, right? So you have to use the Pandas. For an example, if your data set is in the CSV format, then you will just write here pd.read_CSV and you will give the dataset location, right? And then this CSV file will be converted into a data frame. Also, there are many types of data that can be read using Pandas. So I have given you that, let's suppose that this is a data set of CSV file. Pandas can read it. Even if you are having the data set in Excel also, then also Pandas can read it, right? So this is the basic idea about Pandas. So let's start with descriptive statistics. So what is descriptive statistics? So it is a branch of mathematics that deals with gathering, analyzing, interpreting, and presenting a large amount of numerical data. So let's take an example. If we are having any particular data set, right? And if we want to find out the numerical data, then we can use the descriptive statistics. For an example, let's take an example of car sales, right? So if you want to see that in this year, how many cars has been sold or what's the profit, then we're going to use this descriptive statistics, right? Next point we are having, it is used to summarize large data in a meaningful way. So here I'm talking about to summarizing a large data into a meaningful way. So how can we summarize a large data in a meaningful way? By finding out the minimum value, maximum value, variance, average, count, right? So in a simple words, while analyzing it, right? So now it gives a general trends in our data, including count, mean, sum, max, min, variance, standard deviation. And along with that, you can also calculate median, you can also calculate mode, you can also calculate sum. So here we're gonna use some functions to summarize the large data in a meaningful way. So let's take here what I will do first. Let me just import pandas first because we are talking about pandas summary statistics, right? So I'll just write here import pandas as pd, and let me create a pandas series object, right? So I will just write here variable a, and I will write here pd dot series. Okay. And what I will do here, before that, I will just create a variable. So let me create a variable here L, and I will just write here 10, 20, 25, let's suppose 34, 89, and 87. And inside the series, I will just write here L. So I will just give here L as a parameter. So what will happen here? Series mainly contains index as well as the data values. So here index is not mandatory. If you are not giving any index, then the index position will start from 0. Now talking about the data values can be in the form of integer, string, float. You can take any value according to your own. So I have taken here integer value and I didn't specify any index, but while executing, you will see that there will be index position in the output, right? So if I want to know the count, so I can just use here the count function. Okay, so I will just write here simple a dot count. So in count, if you see that how many values we are having here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. So we'll get count as 6, right? Now talking about mean, if you want to calculate the mean, so it means the addition of all the elements divided by total number of elements. So mean, how to calculate? I will just write here 10 plus 20 plus 25 plus 34 plus 89 plus 87 divided by 6. So I'll get my mean. So how to calculate using pandas? So I can just write here a dot mean. Now talking about the sum function, right? We can also write here a dot sum and we'll get output. So next we are having the max function. So if you want to find out the maximum values, then you can simply write here a dot max. And here if you see the maximum value is 89, so 89 will be displayed. Similarly, minimum is used to find out the minimum value. Now talking about variance, how to find a variance. So variance, we are simply having the formula, right? Sigma square is equal to summation of x minus mu whole square by n. Now, what is sigma square here? Sigma square is variance. What is n here? Total number of values. So total number of values is here 6, right? What is mu? Mu is nothing but mean that we have already calculated here. Now talking about x, capital X, x is nothing but each data value. So first time if I want to calculate, I will just write here simple 10 minus, and what's my mu? Let's suppose my mu is here 5, right? So I can write here 10 minus 5 square plus, now again I am having the formula of summation here, right? That means addition. So once again I will take the next data value. So it will be 20 minus 5 plus it will go on, right? Next term will be 25 minus 5 ka whole square, then 34 minus 25 whole square divided by total number of values or elements. So I am having total here 6, right? So in this way you can calculate variance. Now if I'm talking about the standard deviation, so standard deviation is nothing but under root of variance. So I can just write here standard deviation is nothing but under root of variance. So now the next question arises that how can I use pandas and calculate variance and standard deviation, right? So I will just write here simple a dot var function and I can calculate the variance. Similarly for standard deviation, I will just write here a dot std function. So in this way, I can calculate all these general trends. And as I already told you that you can also calculate median, you can also calculate mode, and there are a lot of other functions using this descriptive statistics. You can use it. So now let's see the practical implementation of descriptive statistics. So I will be using here Jupyter Notebook and I will just go and then click on this new. I will click on Python 3 and I will just write here pandas underscore summary underscore statistics. Okay, because this was my topic name. So just let me write it. Now what I will do here, first I have to import the pandas. So I will import the pandas here, import pandas as PD. And now what I will do here, so as I was talking about series object, how to create a series object. So let me create it. First I will just write here a and I will write here PD dot series. But before that, what I will do here, let me just create another variable L, and I will just create a list here, and let me just insert the value here 10, 20, 33, 44, 56, 67, 88, 98. I'm just taking random values, and inside this I will just pass L as a parameter. Now if I'm writing here print A, so on execution you can see that I am getting here the index position. So as I already told you while giving the explanation of descriptive statistics, when you're not mentioning any index, then it will start from 0, right? So automatically you can see that at index position 0, 10 has been assigned, at index 1, 20 has been assigned, and so on, right? Now, if I want to find the key insights from it, or if I want the statistical information from it, so how can I find it? So let me use here the method. So I'll just write here a dot mean. So let me just find here the mean. So you can see that mean is here 52, right? Let me just use here a dot sum function. So sum function will add all the values here. So you can see that the sum is 416. Now if you want to find the, let's suppose here a dot minimum value. So I'll just write here a dot min, and the minimum value you can clearly see that I am having here 10, right? Next we are having a dot max. So if you want to find out the maximum value, then you can see that inside this series, the maximum value is 98. Next, if you want to find the variance, so I'll just write here a dot variance, and you can also find variance. Along with that, let me just find out here standard deviation. Then you can also find standard deviation. If you want to find out the median, then using these basic functions, you can find out all this statistical information. Now, if I ask you a question, okay, using this method you can find out the statistical information, but what about, is there any method in which we can find out the most of the information? So yeah, there is method available that we're going to discuss on moving further. Okay, so this is the basic idea, and these are the basic method that using pandas you can just simply use this mean function, sum function, minimum function, maximum function, and you can easily calculate all the statistical information, right? So these are the some functions that I have shown you. So let's see how to generate a summary statistics for a data frame. So if you want to create or generate a summary statistics for the data frame, then you have to use Pandas Dataframe.describe method. So now talking about this method, so this method will show you some basic statistical information, because when you are using this method and once you will do the execution, you will get here percentile, minimum value, maximum value, standard deviation along with mean, right? So let's understand here. So Python is an excellent language for data analysis. As we know that we can use the pandas library that is present in the Python, and it is very good for the data analysis, right? So basically we're going to import the data and we can analyze the data in a lot easier manner. Coming to the next point, df.describe is used to display some basic statistical information of a data frame. As I already told you that it will display you some basic statistical information. Let's see what all information it will display. Or a sequence of numeric values such as mean, percentile, minimum, max, and standard deviation. So these are the statistical information that gonna be provided by this method. So now, what does this method return? So it will return the statistic summary of a data frame. So whatever the data set you have imported, first it will be converted into a data frame and it will give you the summary statistics, right? So now coming to the syntax, first you have to import the pandas library, then we'll just import the data set. And then we will just write here dataframe.describe, and here we are having certain parameters, right? Percentiles is equal to none. So it means list like data types of numbers from 0 to 1 to return its respective percentile. Coming to the include, so list of data types that has to be included while describing the data frame. Next here default will be none. So this is the basic syntax. So while doing the practical implementation, we're gonna know more about this method. So now let's see the practical implementation. So once again, I will be using Jupyter Notebook. So let me just write here import pandas as pd, and I will just create another list here. I'll just write here 1 comma 5 comma 7 22. Let's take the value 88, 44, 56, 78. And now once again I will just create here series object. So now I'll just pass here the value of L, and let me assign here, let's suppose A, and I will just write here print A. So on execution, you can see that this is the pandas series, right? Now what I can do here, I will just simply write here A dot describe. So when I'm using here describe method and when I'm not passing any parameter, so it will just give me the numerical values, right? Already here, if you see, this is a series object, we are having only the numerical values. Let's suppose that if we are having a data set, so if I are writing here a dot describe, so only the numerical values will be displayed here. I will show you while importing the data set on going further. So now if you see here, you can see that we have already got some summary statistics here, right? So count, what will be the count? So if you see here, total we are having 8 values, so 8 will be coming here. Now coming to the mean, we know that this is the average, right? Standard deviation, we know how to calculate. Minimum value, we can see that we are having 1, and the maximum value we are having here 88. Now if you see 25 here, 50 and 75, what are all these are nothing but the percentile. So it shows that how many of the values are less than the given percentile, right? If you see here, we are getting here 6.5, right, in 25 percentile. 50 percentile, we are getting here 33. 75 percentile, we are getting here 61. So now first we will come to 25 percentile. So here it's written 6.50. So there are values like 1, 5. So if you see here, we are having 1, 5, right? So these are the values which are less than 6.5, right? Now coming to the 50 percentile, there are a lot of values which are less than 33. So if you see here, we are having 1, 5, 7, 22, right? Now talking about the 75 percentile. So if you see, there are a lot of values which are less than 61.5. So there are 75 percentile values which are less than 61.5, right? So if you see here, we are having only two values, 78 and 88, which are more than the 61.5, right? So basically when I'm talking about the percentile, so how many of the values are lesser than the given percentile, right? So if you see here, there are a lot of values which are less than 61.5, right? So 75 percentile is there, right? So this is the basic idea. Now what I will do now, I will just import a data set, and then we will see how we can do the analysis. So now let me import the data set here. So let me just write here df variable, and I will just write here pd dot read underscore csv, and inside that let me just open my data set. So this is my data set having the name car sales. So I will just copy the location here, and let me just paste it here. And what's the name of the file? The name of the file is car sales. So I'll just write here car underscore sales, and it's in CSV format. So I'll just write here dot CSV. So if you will execute now, then you will get an error. So let me just replace the backward slash with forward slash, and let me execute this now. Now you can see that it has been executed. Now if I'm writing here df dot head, so on execution, you can see that I am getting first 5 records of this data set, right? Now let me use here describe method. So I'll just write here df dot describe. So if I'm executing it, you will only get here the numerical values, right? Just like year resale value, prices in thousand, engine size. You will not get this character value. So let me just run it. So you can see that I'm getting here only the numerical values, right? Now if you want the character values also, or character data, so for that what can I do? I'll just write here df dot describe, and I will just write here include is equal to all. So you can see that now you are getting the character data also as well as the numeric data also, right? If you see this data set, this was our data set, right? And while executing this, function we are getting all it. So if you want the information here, you can see that there is 157 count, right? And the mean is also there, right? And the minimum sales in 1000 we are having here. Similarly, the maximum value, then we are having the percentile also. Now, if you want only character data, so what you can do, you have to just write here df dot describe, and you will just write here include is equal to, and you have to just write here object. So if you are executing it, so while executing, you can see that we are getting all the summary statistics of only for the character data, right? So you can see that manufacturer, the count is 157, model is 157, vehicle type is also 157, and the latest launch is also 157, right? And this is unique, means the unique value that we are having. So this is 30 here, for model it's 156. So in this way you can do the analysis. Now if you want for any specific type also, then also you can use this method. You have to just write here df.describe, and here you will just write here include, and let's suppose that we are already having object. So any specific type if you want to add here, you can just add here. Let me just write here float. So if I'm running it, you can see that it's showing me invalid syntax. So why it's showing me invalid syntax? Because it has to be df, right? So let me just run it, and you can see that we got all the information, right? So this is the basic idea about Pandas summary statistics. So let's take a quick recap for Pandas summary statistics. So we have started this tutorial by understanding what is Pandas. So as we already know that Pandas is a Python library that is mainly used for data analysis. Moving ahead, we have learned about descriptive statistics, that it is all about gathering, analyzing, interpreting, and presenting a large amount of numerical data. Moving ahead, we have also learned about the Dataframe.describe method, which will give us some basic statistical information such as mean, minimum value, maximum value, standard deviation, and percentile. Once we got to know about the idea about describe method, we have also seen the practical implementation.
If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, I want to request you to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any new update or video releases from Great Learning. If you enjoyed this video, show us some love and like this video. Knowledge increases by sharing, so make sure you share this video with your friends and colleagues. Make sure to comment on the video for any query or suggestions, and I will respond to your comments.